So anytime that he faces these kinds of things, he always says, "I'm used to this."
Hey, Congressman, I mean, I understand you work with him, but I think we need to hold our leaders accountable. He is the Speaker of the House. The budget emanates from the House. There are talks of ostentatiousness and extreme wealth, private planes, supposedly more than 10 houses in Forbes Park. I'm sorry I have to bring this up, but to defend the Speaker that he's a victim in all this, it's appalling to the Filipino people. At the end, he would not even explain the corruption in the budget that he allowed. The House passed it, Congressman. In the end, we are talking about the public being angry of the ostentatiousness and extreme wealth of Martin Romualdez, Zaldico. This is not the time of the wealth you and I have seen in past administrations. Galit na tayo nun kay GMA, kay ERAP, etc. This is a whole other level of alleged corruption. This could be the levels of Nepal.
Yeah.
That kind of anger, which I hope not, but at the end of the day, when you hear about homes abroad, I mean, Congressman, it's very difficult to defend Martin who was in power unless he submits his salad. He explains. Stepping aside, I don't think is enough for the Filipino people. I mean, it's not personal to me. I'm not angry at him personally, but as a leader, this is inexcusable. Parang biktima pa siya na ang bait niya. Gusto niyang tumabi.
Deputy.
I told the president already that I'm resigning my position tomorrow, which is today.
Oh, so paano na yan? Which is today. Kailan tong interview na to? Ngayon to eh. O eto mga kadonatics, kumpirmado na ngang hindi na babalik bilang House Speaker si Martin Romualdez Tambaloslos. Siya na mismo nagsabi niyan, according sa kanilang meeting. Nako, paano yan? Sa wakas na apektuhan na rin mga kadonatics sa mga nangyayari ngayon si Tambaloslos. Natatakot kasi ito na baka matulad sa Nepal or Indonesia yung mangyayari. Baka bulabugin yung bahay niya, yung kayamanan niya na galing sa pera ng taong bayan. Nako, kaya ayon, 500 billion escape, sabi nga ni Sasurgado Sasot. Eto, panoorin na natin.
Joining us this morning is Deputy Speaker Ronaldo Puno. Good morning to you, Congressman Puno.
Hello, good morning, Karen. Thank you for having me.
All right, so is Speaker Martin Romualdez resigning or is he taking a leave of absence?
Okay, well, about 3 weeks or so ago, Martin Romualdez convened the House party leaders, and he told us that he wanted to step aside. This is like 3 weeks ago. And he said that the reason for this was, he said, there's just too much controversy in the House already now. And it's affecting the work that everybody's doing. He says everybody's focused, of course, on the controversies on the flood control projects. And he felt that he needed to step aside and face the accusations and rumors regarding whatever was happening in the flood control area. Of course, the party leader said, we don't.
Wait lang. So, minsan din, itong mga interview ni Karen Davila ay nakakatulong din. At eto na nga, Deputy Speaker to mga kadonatics. It means, second to the highest sa House of Representative. Speaker then, tapos Deputy Speaker. So ano nang mangyayari ngayon?
I think that's a good idea. Please do not resign. And it went on for about another week and a half. Sometime last week, one of the party leaders suggested that, Speaker, it's hard for us if you leave now because it's going to be just so much disorganization in the House already. So why don't you consider going on leave? No, in the House rules, a leave is allowed for the Speaker. And during his absence, the deputy speakers elect among themselves someone who will take over the functions of the speaker. No, so it was it was there for a while. last weekend, Saturday, if I'm not mistaken, evening, he texted me and he says, I think it's time for me to go. Says, thank you for...
It's time for me to go. Nako, talagang nabahala na siya mga kadonatics, no? Nabahala na talaga na baka masunog din yung bahay niya. Kaya ayun, 500 billion escape, sabi nga doon, no? Ako, baka magsama yan sila ni Zaldico sa US. Talagang aalis to. Aalis to mga kadonatics. Ang saya-saya.
Your support. This last Saturday. I didn't see it until the following morning because apparently it's very late at night when he texted that. He must have been unable to sleep. So I discussed this with him the following morning, and I told him, it may not be the best time. I think that we don't do these things when things are in total confusion, which is partly the situation now. So he said, well, okay, let me think about it a little bit more. And so then Monday came, and then he became more definite about it. So he says, I'm thinking I'll maybe at least go and leave and then maybe name some potential officers in charge or somebody that will take care of business while I'm on leave. So then he was talking about certain possibilities, Deputy Secretary Bojidi among them, no? And then yesterday morning, he calls me up again and he says, I'm going to see the president this afternoon at 3 p.m. He says, I think we're going to be discussing, my going on leave or leaving the house. He says, I think we need to settle this already, he says. I said, well, again, I said, our belief, our opinion among the House party leaders is, don't resign, just go and leave. No? And then think about it, and you can resign after if you think that that's the correct decision. So he goes to Malacanang, and then he calls for us to assemble at his office, the party leaders, at 4:30, and he arrives a few minutes after that. And then he tells us already, this is, he thanked everyone for working with him and spending energy and time to push forward the House agenda. Then he says, I told the president already that I'm resigning my position tomorrow, which is today.
Oh, so paano na yan? Which is today. Kailan tong interview na to? Ngayon to eh. Wala na tayong speaker sa House. So it means, sino kaya papalit sa kanya? Sinong papalit sa kanya? May usap-usapan na si Barsaga, may usap-usapan na ang matunog talaga, tuta pa rin ni BBM, si Boji, basta. Nako. Ang mangyayari nito mga kadonatics, yung dirty, pinalitan lang ng ibang dirty, but ibang kulay, wala pa rin, di ba? Pero of course, this time, careful na yan ha? Careful na yan kasi alam na nila kung anong mangyayari. Di ba? Our prayers are being answered mga kadonatics, totally. Di ba? At sa sunod niyan, sino na? Dapat ha, itong yung Pangulo natin, magkusat na din mga kadonatics, magkusat na din. Kasi nakikita natin, at siya na mismo nagsabi na hindi siya pinapakinggan ng kanyang mga kabinete. So I think it's time for him to step down too. What do you think?
So we said, why not leave? He says, well, if I go on leave, he says, people will say, he's coming back. Oh, he's just on the side. He's still directing things. And so it's not going to solve the problem, he says. So if we're going to do this, we might as well cut clean, he said. And I want to do this also so that I can face all of these accusations. I'll go before any investigation, he says. I can defend myself. I'm not hiding anything. I'm not afraid of any inquiries, he says. So
magtatago lang yan, kagaya ni Zaldico. Trust me.
So let's just do that, he said.
To any investigation.
And then I'll continue to be congressman. I'll serve the district, but I will leave all of these suspicions to all of you people. And he says, of course, I will help whenever you need me to, but it's time to turn the page. He says, and then I'm asking all of you to support the nominee that I have discussed already with our majority leader. He says it's Deputy Speaker Bojidi.
Okay.
You know, we were quiet for a while. No, nobody was reacting, but after a while, obviously, I mean, we just decided to accept his decision.
So,
See, ganyan ang mangyayari ngayon mga kadonatics. When your motive to lead or serve is, greediness, then you will not last. Diba? At ito yung nangyayari ngayon. Sinong magwawagi, ha? Of course, mga kadonatics, ha? Hindi na-impeach si Inday Sara Duterte. Ha? Hindi nila napatunayan na nilustay niyang pera. And she is still standing, mga kadonatics, ha? She is still standing amidst sa kanyang, amidst sa mga binabato sa kanya. Di ba? Stay strong. At marami pa rin nakasuporta. It means, isa lang ibig sabihin yan, she will definitely thrive, mga kadonatics. At mananalo tayo. Hindi magwawagi ang kasamaan, sabi nga, di ba?
Congressman, you gave us the behind-the-scenes story. 3 weeks ago, he meets with all of you, thinks of going on leave. Yesterday, he has a meeting with Malacanang, and it became about resigning. Do you believe...
Sorry, 3 weeks ago he said, I'm stepping aside. That was not
leave.
That leave came, the idea came last week from one of the party leaders. So, no, I think he was thinking about resigning already 3 weeks, at least 3 weeks ago. Yeah.
Do you believe there was pressure from Malacanang for him to resign?
I think there was pressure from everywhere. I mean, there's media, there's social media. Of course, not everybody in the house is a believer. We have had problems with the executive branch, as you know, and so there have been a lot of issues, that cause problems for the speaker. And these are very trying times. This is a difficult time in our political life. No, I mean,
difficult times daw sa kanilang political life. Grabe. Billion yung mga ninakaw nyo. Difficult times pa, ha? This is just a consequence sa mga ginawa nyo sa taong bayan. The money that they have taken from the people, mga kadonatics, are sacred. Kaya, ayun, kinarma na. Talagang sabi ni Tatay Digo na there will be time for reckoning, and we are seeing this, mga kadonatics, little by little. Diba? Ang saya-saya. This is actually good news. Kaya, magbunyagi tayo, mga kadonatics, kahit kunti lang, we have the right to be joyful sa mga nangyayari ngayon amidst sa kaguluhan sa Pinas, di ba?
I'm sure you also are seeing so many unprecedented things happening as I am now. No? I mean, I think pressures for sure. Yeah, for sure.
But do you believe the speaker wanted to stay and President Marcos Jr. asked him to resign? Or he took it upon himself that with everything that's going on, I should resign or step aside?
Knowing the president also, I think, he probably would not want to cause, anxiety on anyone. So I cannot imagine him asking the speaker to resign, for example. I can't imagine that. I think the president, if I know him well enough, I think he allows you to process your thoughts, and he may guide you and lead you to certain decisions. But I really don't think that he would ask the speaker to resign. No, and as I said, it's not just the speaker himself. Even he tells me that his family have been telling him to just step aside. This is true not just for him, Karen, but for other Congress.
Step aside na lang kasi tama na yung nanakaw natin ha. Akala nila mag-thrive talaga sila mga kadonatics. Akala nila magiging presidente pa itong si Tambaluslos. Grabe talaga, grade D mga kadonatics, grade D. Kaya grade D ang magpapabagsak sa kanila.
Congressmen as well, especially those that have been mentioned in all of these controversies. One of our colleagues has in fact put her children on a leave of absence from school because they are being harassed in school because their parents' name have appeared in this news. No, so
mga anak ba to ni Zaldico, sir?
No. In fact, congressmen that I think are probably not guilty of anything. No? I mean, but they were just included in the lists. No, and I imagine that si Speaker's family has been subjected to the same kind of pressure. So, and I know for a fact that they have been asking him to resign, his family. No, I mean, at least step aside from the speakership because it's really a lot to take for the family. On a daily basis. Speaker Martin tells us that it's okay with him because he grew up with this. No, I mean, when he was a young kid, they would go to breakfast and they would read newspapers, and it's all negative against their family, and it's been that way for a long time. So he says, I can take all of this, but I don't know that it's fair to subject my children to this. So that's one of
The children is one thing, but also the administration is another.
Correct.
I mean, the truth, Congressman, is he gives a bad name to the Marcos administration. That's feedback from analysts. Would you agree?
Well, I'll just give you a specific example. No, in this January this year, December and January, this is when the issue of the budget insertions erupted, and he was the one blamed. Okay, everybody was saying Romualdez. I mean, not Saldico, not anybody, Romualdez. No, but I knew then,
Of course naman, di ba? After all, tamang-tama talaga yung mga sinasabi ni Inday Sara Duterte na dalawa lang ang nag-hold sa kaban ng bayan. Itong si Romualdez at Saldico. At eto na nga mga kadonatics, lumabas na yung totoo. Di ba? Nung napangalanan si Romualdez ng mga diskaya mga kadonatics, anong nangyari ha? He wanted to step aside. Di ba? Kasi ayaw niya mga kadonatics na mangyari yung nangyari sa sa Indonesia at Nepal. Na baka sunugin din yung bahay niya or yung House of Representatives, the worst case.
Earliest January, that the Congress had submitted to the Senate the budget that was proper. No, I mean that it did not reduce the Department of Education budget. It kept the PhilHealth trust funds intact, and it in fact reduced the DPWH budget. Of course, the final Appropriations Act was the reverse. No, the trust fund was removed. The Department of Education was reduced, and then the DPWH was increased by a few hundred.
Di ba?
Yun, no? So,
diba? In-increase pa nila yung DPWH na budget this 2025. Na-reduce ang yung sa education at sa ibang mga ahensya. At andun nilagay sa DPWH kasi doon sila makakakurakot. Ayun na nga, hindi pinayagan ng Panginoon mga kadonatics. Nabulgar. Lahat. I mean, we are still, excavating so many things mga kadonatics na mga nangyari ngayon. I think we are still in 10%, 10% na exposed.
So I knew then that it wasn't Congress and it wasn't him because the enrolled copy of the bill was submitted.
But are you saying it wasn't? I mean, you saw Toby Tiangco's expose where Zaldico had insertions of 13 billion in one district.
Correct. No, that's true. All of that is true. I'm talking about the culpability of Martin Romualdez. Okay. So I was asking, why don't you explain this thing? Why don't you just explain everything? He says, no, I don't want to get into an argument with the Senate President. because he is doing many things for the president also. And I'll just swallow all of this. He says, anyway, I'm used to this. Ganyan eh. So anytime that he faces these kinds of things, he always says, I'm used to this. Now, this issue has been on his back for what, the past 7 months. Until I started to explain what happened in this thing, I think nobody was even talking about it, no? And I thought that it was not fair, no? And even over his objections, I started talking about this because he didn't want to get into any dispute with the Senate. Eh. But I think this is part of the reason why he has become so much a target for everyone, no? Is that when something is an attack is made on the administration, and he is the target, he allows it to happen because.
Well, Congressman, I mean, I understand you work with him, but I think we need to hold our leaders accountable. He is the Speaker of the House. The budget emanates from the House. There are talks of ostentatiousness and extreme wealth, private planes, supposedly more than 10 houses in Forbes Park. I'm sorry I have to bring this up, but to defend the Speaker that he's a victim in all this, it's appalling to the Filipino people. At the end, he would not even explain the corruption in the budget that he allowed. The House passed it, Congressman. In the end, we are talking about the public being angry of the ostentatiousness and extreme wealth of Martin Romualdez, Zaldico. This is not a time of the wealth you and I have seen in past administrations. Galit na tayo nun kay GMA, kay ERAP, etc. This is a whole other level of alleged corruption. This could be the levels of Nepal.
Yeah.
That kind of anger, which I hope not. But at the end of the day, when you hear about homes abroad, I mean, Congressman, it's very difficult to defend Martin who was in power unless he submits his salad. He explains. Stepping aside, I don't think is enough for the Filipino people. I mean, it's not personal to me. I'm not angry at him personally, but as a leader, this is inexcusable. Parang biktima pa siya na ang bait niya. Gusto niyang tumabi.
Deputy.
No, actually,
Sampal sa pagbumukha mo, Deputy. Kasi lahat lang mga sinasabi niya na biktima si Romualdez na sanay na si Romualdez, parang ganon. What the heck? Billions of pesos ang nawawala sa taong galing sa taong bayan. At saludo ako mga kadonatics sa questions na yun. Grabe! Ang haba-haba with definitely a speech worthy mga kadonatics. Grabe! Salud kay Karen Davila, di ba? Very good talaga.
I think, the reason for his stepping aside is precisely because he wants to address and face all of this. Okay, so I think I'm not painting anyone as a victim here. I was just addressing that issue in terms of propaganda. No, I mean that when he is
isang corrupt din to. Makikita mo naman the way he speaks mga kadonatics na ay talagang pinapanigan niya. Hindi niya bine-blame na grabe ka corrupt yung speaker nila. Of course, he will not do that to his same color mga kadonatics. Kaya eto, di ba? Eto, pinapanigan niya kasi nakakaginansya din to. Ginatasan ata si Martin Romualdez nito din. Di ba?
attack, he doesn't always answer. So that is why he gets blamed for some things that are really not his fault. Now, as to the things that are his fault, I guess that is why he is stepping aside now and not just going on leave so that he can face it. No, and I think it's good that he will face it. All of these things, the houses,
But why won't the insertions in the 2025 budget, why won't it be his fault? I mean,
Because
doesn't the buck stop with the leader?
I think
Ano nang tinuturo natin, sir?
well, here's the process of budget. As I explained earlier, the House version did not have the insertions. It went to the Senate. The Senate and the Congress had a bicameral committee. The bicameral committee was composed of many representatives. Then they decided to make it a small committee. The small committee was 4 people. Okay, Senate President Chis Escudero, Speaker Romualdez, Senator Grace Poe, and Congressman Saldico.
Oh.
That was the small committee. The small committee went into their meetings. This is where the insertions were put in, by the way.
Yun. So nandun po siya.
No, the speaker did not attend those meetings. Senator Grace Poe was not allowed to attend most of those meetings. It ended up Saldico and Senate President Escudero were the ones that actually penciled in whatever needed to be penciled in at the end. And if you know, Karen, if you look at the budget, there are 20.
Wala, hindi pwedeng excuse sila dyan. At teka, itong si Grace po mga kadonatics, bakit hindi minimension sa mga nangyayari ngayon? Ha? Dapat ipatawag din to sa Senate hearing. Wag na sa Kamara kasi alam naman natin na napaka-bias doon. Di ba? Chis Escudero. Nako naman. Patay ka. Kaya grabe mga kadonatics. Sabi nga sa Jeremiah, Matthew chapter 7 verse 15, beware of false prophets in sheep clothing inwardly, but they are ravening wolves.
20,000 DPWS projects, 20,000. So, it takes a lot of, real painstaking work to do it. But it was the 2 that actually finalized those things. And that is what I'm saying did not come to light until just recently. This is the situation everybody knew was the case as early as January. So now,
Congressman,
with regards to
is it right to say that Zaldico and are you saying Chis Escudero are frankly to blame
yes,
for the 2025 budget?
yes,
Shit!
because
Yung insertion na yan, kung kasama ka sa small committee ng BICAM, at siguradong alam ni Romualdez kung anong nangyayari, even though wala siya sa meeting. Sigurado yan mga kadonatics. Hindi yan pwedeng hindi mo ipaalam sa ibang membro. Mga 4 kayo, tapos hindi mo ipaalam, 2 lang. That is impossible. Impossible. Di ba? Kung may meeting, talagang malalaman niya ng iba. Kung kasama ka, kung member ka, di ba?
and the version that they sent back to the House already included all the insertions. Now that's a bicameral thing, but that's the step in the budget process where the Senate reviews what the House of Representatives does, and then gets back to them with the final version of the Appropriations Act, which they then forward to the President for approval. But then again, okay, so you signed it, you approved it. Yeah, 20,000 projects, no? I mean, I don't. I've seen the budget. No, I could not find for the life of me my own projects in my district. In the General Appropriations Bill. That's how complicated it is. So if you sign after you assume that the staff work has been done, I think it's a fair assumption that you had at least minimal care in addressing the issue. But the ones that really were responsible for putting it in, you should be held responsible also. And I think that's what also triggered, I guess, the reorganization in the Senate, no? Because they know now.
Okay.
I understand that with the investigations coming up in the Senate, more information will come up about so many things. So I'm looking forward to the Blue Ribbon investigations there as well.
Now, Congressman Puno, Zaldico is still abroad, right? The perception is the speaker has tolerated Zaldico, right?
Yeah.
And he could have called him to answer because there's a hearing in the House. He could have called him to answer about SunWest's contracts, insertions, but he didn't. Ano ang plano with Zaldico, sir? At the end of the day, he's been absent, right? For so long.
The speaker does not participate in committee deliberations, no. So it's actually the job of the committee to invite, to summon, to their
Yeah.
hearings, no. So I leave that matter to the Public Accounts Committee. But what is the plan on Saldico? Well, we in Congress we're saying that he should be brought back forcibly if necessary.
Really?
Yes, I mean, initial reports were that he was in the U.S. Now, then I saw some posts where he is supposed to be in a house, he changed his name and things like that, no?
No.
But, in the U.S., we can extradite people. And what is important now is that cases need to be filed, no? We need to fight. Karen, this is not a legislative inquiry issue anymore.
Yeah.
I think this is a criminal thing, no? I mean, cases have to be filed, and that's why the investigative commission is, right on. Kasi you have Benji Magalong there, Mayor Magalong, who is a no-nonsense person. I know Babe Singson, Secretary Singson, who is also no-nonsense, And the way that this commission has been formed looks like, they're really, going to file some cases,
Dapat lang. Actually, mga kadonatics, it doesn't have to take that long, mga kadonatics, to investigate Zaldico and the rest. Bakit? Sila naman talaga ang nag-insert sa budget. So, why do you have to investigate? Nakita mo naman, di ba? May mga minute doon na, pinirmahan. Sila nag-insert sa budget. So, file a case diretso na. Di ba? Kasi may witness naman at may mga ebidensya. Kaya, pinapahaba lang talaga yung investigasyon, mga kadonatics, para makapag-excuse pa sila or makalayas. Ay nako. Anyway, mga kadonatics, salute kay Karen Davila dito. Grabe, magaling yung mga tanong niya. Ang gaganda ng mga tanong niya. Magaling si Karen Davila. Kaya lang minsan, of course, alam naman natin na napaka-bias nito. Well, anyway, mga kadonatics, thank you so much, and please comment down below. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like this video. Ingat palagi. God bless you, mga kadonatics. Bye-bye.